There are two groups of people right now in America that are struggling. Group number one is the unemployment, the minimum wage, and people living in poverty. That has been a problem for so many decades and needs to be addressed. The new bucket of individuals, this has started ever since the pandemic, started a little earlier, but it sped up during the pandemic. This is the bucket of what used to be the middle class.
I got a letter recently that my property taxes are going to go up $600 a year from now on. I got a letter that my homeowner's insurance is going up $60 a month.
I don't mean to sound ungrateful, but I feel like being middle class is the worst because you can't afford life, basically.
Let me tell you exactly why the middle class just might very well be the worst class to be a part of.
This country is literally destroying the middle class. Like, do we even have a middle class?
In today's world, middle class and upper middle class is the worst spot you can be in financially.
They hate the middle class.
Welcome back to my channel, man. I'm so glad that y'all are here with me. And I appreciate every time y'all tune in, man. That y'all don't just click off. The first that you click on and you stay on, I appreciate that, but damn. The middle class, what's happening to them? I'm telling you, we are struggling. We struggling. This middle class working and not getting the benefits, the SNAP benefits and all that stuff. We are going to go through some videos today to make you just want to be like, you know what? I might just live off the government. Or you might have to be deceptive and turn your heart off and just go and get the money. Just get the bag, be all about the money, because I don't know what else we're going to do in this. If you want a middle class, let's talk about this, and let's talk about a lot of the problems that's happening nationwide. We are in for it. We need help. It's not fair that we working 2-3 jobs doing all this to try and buy a home, try to get some wealth, and we can't do it because the middle class is getting hit the hardest. Let's talk about it.
There are two groups of people right now in America that are struggling. Group number one is the unemployment, the minimum wage, and people living in poverty. That has been a problem for so many decades and needs to be addressed. The new bucket of individuals, this has started ever since the pandemic, started a little earlier, but it sped up during the pandemic. This is the bucket of what used to be the middle class. This is the group of people who are working 40, 50, 60 hours a week, working 2 jobs and a side hustle, barely getting by. These are people who have bachelor's degrees, master's degrees, trades, skills, work their way up in a company. So when we hear the boomers saying that you need to work harder, you're entitled and lazy, that is why that second group of people are getting so offended, because they're doing everything that they can. And they're not working a second job so they can save up for a house or go on vacation or buy their children stuff. They are working a second job just to keep the lights on, just to have a few extra $100 in an emergency fund. So that second group of people are now speaking up, and both groups need help. And that's why we need to come together and address the cost of living and cost of housing. Because if we let this go another 5 to 7 years, we're going to see a huge gap in.
You're goddamn right.
I like what he's talking about. We're going to see this big, huge wealth gap, right? But little do we know that Trump just announced and said, hey, we're thinking about doing a 15-year car loan, a 50-year mortgage. Do you understand when a 30-year mortgage was introduced, that was during like a recession? That was during like some of the worst times. A lot of people weren't making a lot of money. They were struggling. So that's when they introduced the 30-year. You see, the 15 was a problem. And I want to say it was Roosevelt, President Roosevelt and all that stuff. But when that 15 was introduced, hell broke loose. Now they on 30. Now they are proposing 50. Now, a lot of people are saying, well, yeah, I'll have lower payments, but you're never, the first 20 years you paying nothing but interest, not even going to your principal. And if you can pay it off sooner, great, but they don't want you to do that. They want to make their dollar so small to the point where that 50 year is actually attractive. So let's look at some of these comments and seeing what they're saying. I pay rent this month. Now I have some place to starve. Facts. I think that's the most like, no, it ain't. 100K is a new 50K. And that's facts. I have an RN bachelor's degree. I work 48 hours a week and I have $347 left until I get paid next Friday. I did plasma donations just to have an emergency fund. Pfft, crazy. When did 60-hour weeks become the normal? I'm so tired of being tired and broke. Went to the food store, wanted to buy a bag of cherries, $21. Sounds silly, but the sadness hit me that I'm 55 years old and I couldn't buy fruit. That's crazy, right? Seeing as how it grows and, you know, it's free, but these people are charging that much for cherries. Do you understand how terrible that make you feel? 55 years old. And let me tell you a story. I was literally at the store the other day, walked out, and I knew this guy was going to try to get some money off of me. From Chicago, probably touching almost 50, nothing to his name, just a bag, It's literally cold outside. And I'm just like, I wish I had some money because I probably would have gave him like $10, $15, $20. But all I had was all the change on me. I had a card. I'm like, do you got this? He ain't got that. I'm like, all right, you could just have all my change, bro. So, and I felt terrible that I couldn't help him out more. But I'm like, man, I could not imagine being in that position, being almost 50. And when I tell you, he thanked God for what I gave him, literally right there. I love you, brother. I love you, brother. Thanking God and all that, man. I felt so, I'm like, man, I'm glad I did what I could do because it hurt my heart to see that I couldn't give more in that time. But middle class isn't a thing anymore. It's either the poor or the rich. And we've been talking about this. They have been trying to make this happen for so long, but we're not going to harp too long on this. I just want to read y'all some comments, but literally this is crazy. Husband is making a dream wage, would have been comfortable 4 or 5 years ago. And now it's paycheck to paycheck wage. That's what I'm saying. A lot of people are house rich. That means they have no money in their pockets, but their house is worth some stuff, but they can't sell the house because if they do, everything else is messed up right now. So it's like you're gonna lose. Like it's just crazy the way things are right now. I make $100K a year and I'm not hurting, but I can't afford a house, and retirement is a joke. Facts, man. Teachers are drowning. They don't even care anymore, man. They really don't even care. But let's look at another video. Let's keep going.
I got a letter recently that my property taxes are going to go up $600 a year from now on. I got a letter that my homeowner's insurance is going up $60 a month. My propane company sent me a letter that my propane is going to double this year. They just came and filled up my tank. It was $1,000. That's crazy. Also, as a entrepreneur and business owner, I get my health insurance through the marketplace. So you have the Affordable Care Act. I pay $45 a month. They just informed me that if this bill passes and I lose my tax credit, I'm going to go from $45 a month to $660 a month for health insurance. I need to buy a new car and I can't because the cars have gotten more expensive and the interest rates have gotten so much more expensive. I can't find a reliable car that has the same monthly payment of $450 a month that I've been paying now for a new car. Not necessarily new, but new to me. Groceries.
Unless you're carrying negative equity, baby, yes, you can. You most absolutely can. I don't know where you live or what situation you in, but $450 a month, you can get you a reliable car. It ain't gonna be no top tier what you thinking. Nah, you need to go Honda, you need to go Lexus, you need to go Toyota. That's the route you need to take. And you can even go back a couple years, get you something used. Like, let's not act like no.
Are insane. And it feels like every day I get a new email from another subscription that I have, whether it's Netflix, my website subscription, everything's increasing in price. And I sit pretty much every day stressed about money. And yet I know that there are so many people in this country that are way worse off than me. And they're not making it, y'all. They're not making it. What hurts me the most is that there are so many women, especially, that just cannot afford to leave abusive homes and they have to stay in it because of this economy. So
now, I hate to stop her right there, but at the same time, she's not even thinking about the men that might be in an abusive relationship. She could have said people. Now, I'm not gonna be that guy and be like, oh, it's just when, but she could have said people in general. It's not always. I hate when people always say like the man is the abuser. A lot of these times, these dudes be getting abused. I see it all the time. They are getting like Akash. I feel like somebody pray for Akash. His wife is out here doing him dirty, bragging about, she talking about butthole stories in college, dreaming about white guys and Paul Pass lists and his money's my money, my money's my money. She's saying the worst, talking about the host hut. Like, people are going through some things. And don't just think that it's just the women doing it. No, when they get divorced, the man got to give a lot of the money. If he's the breadwinner, he got to give all his money. So it's not just the women being abused. And so I don't know what she's talking about. See, she kind of being unrealistic with that money, that $460 stuff. But let's look into some comments real quick. She said, welcome to Trump's economy. Well, that's just not true. Even though I don't care red, blue. I'm telling you, at this point, F all the politicians. Like, I don't care about none of them. Don't like none of them. Don't believe none of them. Everybody's aligned. They are on the same team and they got us riled up. That's the way I think of it, right? That's all I can tell you. And that's just what I think. This is what people voted for. Oh my gosh. No. This is not what you voted for. This is going to happen regardless. Yes, if you believed in Trump and thought that he would change this, listen, this was going to happen regardless. Regardless, this was always the plan, which they have been telling us for years to come. Now, Trump might be the face of it because he's easy to hate. That's why in this last election, I noticed a lot of people wasn't voting against their best interests. They was just voting against a man that they did not like. And I said, that's not logical.
That's stupid. Use your common sense.
That's not logical. Just because I don't like something don't mean that it's not the best for me. Vegetables, for instance. I don't like vegetables, this, that, when I was a kid, but they might have been good for me. You never know. So that's why I said I don't think off of how I don't like somebody. I look at what they have to offer regardless. What is the benefit of this thing, even if I don't like it? Because I know I can be emotional. So I take my emotions out of it and I don't make decisions emotionally. It's always going to be wrong. Racism is expensive. Oh, Lord, it's getting rough out here. It's impossible to survive. This is what they voted for. So nobody's going to address AI being here. Nobody's going to address the COVID shutdown where people got acclimated to working at home and to not having to go to work and spending more time and getting this free money and all that. That messed up the psyche. That messed up a lot of people's hustle. You see what I'm saying? And now we sitting there saying, oh, Trump, that's the easy way out. That's just a cop out. We can't just say, oh, Trump, and just keep it moving. No, it's bigger than Trump. Stop thinking on a small level. Oh, it's one person's fault. A minute. Yeah, right. They're not powerful enough to do that.
No, you are so dumb. You are really dumb, for real.
This is so much systems and work taking place. This is insurance. You understand what I'm saying? This is BlackRock and them buying up all these houses and literally renting them back to y'all at jacked up prices. This is the problem. That has nothing to do with Trump. I'm a real estate agent. I'm a real estate appraiser. This has nothing to do with Trump. It don't matter who's in office. This is on a local basis. This is national problem. Y'all have to stop thinking this is Trump's fault. Shut up. When people say that let me know you know nothing about what you're talking about. Trump can't change the economy. Just think of that. If he could change the economy, he would do it because y'all all would love him.
Okay, that makes sense.
So of course that's something that he would be willing to do. That's the type of person he want to be loved by everybody. If he could just snap his fingers, get rich, make everything else affordable, he would do that. That lets you know he don't run this nation like that. He is the face of the problem. He's the face of the nation. He got his power some way in what he moved, but he don't control this thing for real. Stop. That's what I'm saying. Y'all got to think deeper than that. Stop always trying. That lets me know you not even past this. You still think, oh, the Democrats. It's everybody. We need to come together and be like, we independent. We not picking sides no more. We are American people. We are on the same team. We wear the same jersey. That's what y'all need to get to. And until you were there, you're mindless. Everything you say is blasphemy. It's confusing. It's stupid. I'm telling you that. And I'm sorry to go on a rant, but we got to stop that talk. We got to stop talking like that.
Then wake up! You wake up, idiot!
I used to buy and participate in the economy. Now my husband and I were cleaning our property of 5+ acres. We had so many people to come and look through the metal for scrap a year ago. Couldn't get anyone to come get it. Now people are on Facebook daily wanting scrap metal because they are desperate for money. Yeah, I bet we allow the rich to make the laws of scarce into submission. I agree, man, but that's the whole thing, man. We got to wake up. And now is the time to wake up. Stop blaming them. Blame them. Them people that's sitting up there, that's the ones we need to scare. That's the ones we need to shake. That's the ones we need to put our hands on and get to them and be like, yo, do you understand that we can't eat right now? You understand we struggling? 60-hour work week being normal while y'all just sitting around doing nothing, moving stuff around, getting rich off art? No, we got to fight back. It might be time to really reverse, grow our own stuff, do everything. It's time to reverse.
I don't mean to sound ungrateful, but I feel like being middle class is the worst because you can't afford life, basically. Like, you can only afford to survive, and then you make too much to get any assistance from the state. I don't like it.
And that's the point. Good point. It's kind of crazy that these people who don't want to work, if you just, because I feel like the government's going to reward you if you just quit at life. Like, hey, you're going to rent forever. You're not going to own nothing. We're going to give you we're going to make you happy every now and then. Maybe you'll be able to do this. Maybe you'll be able to do that. But if you working hard, really trying to get to that and get rich, you're getting punished right now because they don't want that. They don't want you out here getting money, getting rich, and becoming like them to their benefit, because then it will be crowded. If everybody's rich, nobody's rich. You understand? So that's the mindset that these people got. That's why they're like, jack your prices up. What Trump got to do about Disney? Please explain or Xbox raising their subscription rate. What does Trump have to do about that?
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you,
we don't care.
That's just a money grab. You telling me Microsoft don't got billions sitting on billions? They're just raising it to raise it. What are we talking about here? Bill Gates? Is that what we talking about? Bill Gates is affected because of Donald Trump? No, we have AI now that shows up to work on time, every time, overtime. Don't complain. never sick, not getting pregnant, none of that. So please stop with the Trump. I'm like, wake up. I don't care. Kamala, Trump, Biden, Obama. Man, I'm blaming them all. I don't give a damn. All of them.
Let me tell you exactly why the middle class just might very well be the worst class to be a part of. And as someone who is in the middle class, I must admit, a lot of it is our own fault. So let's compare the different classes. So, people in low income get the most help from the government. Free healthcare, food stamps, vouchers. The government literally allocates billions of dollars each year just to assist low income families. And it's understandable because low income families need the most help. And as a Section 8 landlord, I don't have a problem with this. Now, rich people, they usually have an investing mentality, especially for the long term. They invest their money in assets like real estate, stocks, and business, which generate them passive income and builds wealth. Their money makes them money, and they also receive a lot of tax benefits as well. But the middle class is the class that works the hardest, pays the most in taxes, receive the least amount of benefits or help from the government, and to top it off, we're the class that spends most of our money on liabilities. The more money—
And I'm so glad that man just said that. Skip the holidays. Celebrate them, whatever. But as far as buying gifts, going out to the store, buying anything for holidays, no. You are making the rich richer. Stop doing that. Your kid the kid wants some shit. Man, listen, you're getting the most basic shoes. Hell, we hitting rack room up. We're not, when I wasn't always, I would be lucky to get a pair of Jordans. They'd be 80, 60, 70. The shoes are now double that. For a kid, just go outgrow them in a season. 2-3 seasons, he's done. No matter if they how clean they look, it's over with. You feel what I'm saying? So we got to skip that. Stop spending money to impress people that don't even like you. Knock it off.
we make, the more money we spend. In fact, in a recent study, it showed that half of the middle class who are making at least $100,000 a year are living paycheck to paycheck. This is a huge problem, and a lot of it—
Paycheck to paycheck. Are you serious? Paycheck to paycheck? What the comments saying? You got to learn how the rich people are playing the game. I need to upgrade or downgrade my life then. This is so true. Appreciate the advice, brother. He not lying. True is great content. Yes. So true. Yep. I learned that too. Wonderful page. See, everybody knows. I'm telling you, everybody knows. But some of us, right?
This country is literally destroying the middle class. Like, do we even have a middle class anymore? Or is it just like the haves and the have-nots? Because the haves are really, they're having, and the have-nots are really struggling. And I'm getting so stinking frustrated because I don't know how much more I can help my adult kids. And don't come at me and saying, oh, well, they stop eating avocado and toast in Starbucks. They don't work hard enough. Get fucked, first of all, because I can tell you that my oldest daughter was working 6 days a week, 12-hour days, while pregnant, to try to do what's best for her family. They lived in a 2-bedroom trailer that they were renting that was literally falling apart at the seams. And so she wanted something better for her family because she was pregnant with her second child. So she's busting her butt, working her ass off. Now, of course, her husband couldn't work because they couldn't afford daycare. That's a whole nother story. So they decided that he'd be the one to stay at home because she had the better job. So here she is working 6 days a week, 12-hour days, while pregnant, to try to save as much as they possibly can to get this home. So they finally purchased this home, and just for reference, their home was $220,000. That looks one of the cheapest ones they could find to fit their needs. And they pay $1,800 a month. Now, some of you are going to come at me and be like, $1,800, that's a steal, right? We're in Alabama. Yes, that's a steal in New York. So, like, stick with the story here. What I was trying to say is that $1,800 a month. My mortgage, I got a house for $220,000 as well back in 2014 before the housing market went donkey.
It seems like so long ago.
But up. My mortgage is only $1,100 a month because my interest rate was so much better. So here she is already paying $600 more a month for the same mortgage. So I was like, God. But here she is. She's working it. She's busting it. She gets in this house. She's so excited. I'm excited for her. She's still working her butt off 6 days a week, 12 hours a day. And then she goes and delivers a full human and only takes 2 days off from work after delivering her baby because she can't afford not to. And she's still pushing through. She's like, all right, I got this. I'll do what I got to do. So I went to her house. I was helping with the grandbabies. I love my grandbabies to death, and I help wherever I can. But my husband and I are both retired. We both served 22 years in the Air Force. And then I worked six years corporate, and I saved all my money in that 6 years to get us out of debt so that we could retire. Our retirement is just enough for us. Like, we do not make Kardashian money. our retirement basically lets my husband and I live. And now it's like, here she did try everything she could to get into this house. And then she gets a notification from the mortgage lender that says, hey, by the way, for year 2024, the housing insurance has gone up. The property insurance has gone up. Your PMI has gone up. So come next month, we're going to ask you to pay $2,300 a month instead of $1,800, an extra $500 a month. I've lived in my house since 2014. And yes, I understand property taxes go up. They reassess. The most I've ever paid more.
Listen to me. You see what I'm saying? Insurance companies. How many of us, literally, how many of us been paying insurance for years and never gotten into a wreck? Home insurance, never had a problem. All these things of insurance and never nothing, right? And in 2025, they stick you with it. And what's even more important is if you go and find out who owns these type of insurance companies, and you see these hedge fund people that put the money, like, these are not ordinary people doing insurance. These is people that are connected. You know how when they say PACs, how you got, it might be Kellogg, this, that, blah, 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 pharmacy people. They're all looped into one big, these are the people starting this thing. And as a group and collectively, they are the ones raising the prices on us. You see what I'm saying? When they could say, hey, everybody taking a hit, let's lower. That's what I'm saying. They're working together. And guess what? They're Democrats, Republicans, they're all working together.
Yeah, me.
You see, so the answer is not, the answer is deeper than who you voted for. You understand it? We are at war with these people. We are at war with everybody that's up there. I mean, up there, not just, oh, I make a $200,000, I drive a Lamborghini, I live in a mansion, I live in Buckhead, blah, blah. Nah, not y'all. Y'all not there yet. I'm talking about the people that's paying lawmakers, lobbying lawmakers, people that's really up there. Those are the people making the decisions and choosing to do this when they could do the opposite. You feel what I'm saying? Come on. Even if you raise the premium on everybody, say, hey, for the next 2 months, y'all gonna be paying this, and then we'll drop it back down. That along with all their customers and just those 2 months, you know how much more money they would make and generate in revenue?
I made a lot of money off of them.
And for them to do it permanently, that's why I asked, is it ever gonna come down? Is it ever gonna reverse? Everything just gonna keep going up? What sense does that make? So, man, I hope that baby, I hope she had a good, the baby was healthy, delivered good, man, because working 12 hours, 6 days. Yeah, it was tough like that. My wife, she was working them tough days. And now I even picked up another job. Shout out to my new job. I've been training this week. You feel me? I'm doing I got another job. I got this job. I got 2 jobs. I got my YouTube. I'm a real estate appraiser and a real estate agent. So I got a house on the market. I got 2 lots and 1 house on the market. It's been sitting for a minute. Real estate appraisal I got to do tomorrow. Then yesterday I was at my new job training, and tomorrow I got to go to my first job. Like, I'm just working, bro, and I don't stop. That's just how you got to be. To be comfortable right now, I'm not going to stop moving. I don't have time to sleep. You got to get that hustle mentality in you, man. But let's look at some of those comments on there. 2 days, that makes my heart break. Yeah, our country helps everyone but its citizens. Imagine that. Oh, we pledge with Israel. We're going to send all this money over there. Oh, who is it? Who is the Ukraine? We stand with Ukraine. We're going to send all our money over. Like, come on, man. And you paying taxes to send your money over there. You getting taxed on your money. Then the money you got taxed with, you buy something else to get taxed. And then once you own that thing, they going to tax you for owning it.
In today's world, middle class and upper middle class is the worst spot you can be in financially. You're the people who pay all the taxes. Rich people don't pay taxes. Poor people don't pay taxes. If you're at about 0 to 30,000 a year, you get food stamps, you get Section 8 housing or subsidized housing, you get lots of tax credits back when tax season comes. Those people pay no money in taxes and get 10 grand back. And if you're rich, you're using all your write-offs between your houses, depreciating real estate, losses on business. You're not paying any tax. And if you make about 60,000 to 250,000, those are the people that pay the taxes for the entire world. Those people can't qualify for lower housing. They can't qualify for food stamps. They can't qualify for financial aid with school. Those are the people who are the worst spot you can be in. And I was in that spot for a long time and wondered why I was the one paying all the taxes until I learned how to grow out of the middle class. So if you're in the middle class, obviously you don't want to go down. You want to grow out of it. And you have to stop thinking like the middle class, where you have a house that's a huge mortgage payment, 2 or 3 car payments, student loan payments, and you work till you're 65 because that's how you stay in the middle class. You have to start thinking of ways to how to escape that and achieve financial freedom. And
I agree with him. That's it. That's why I said I had the option to buy another car. And I said, you know what? No, I'm not doing it. I'm not gonna buy another car. Why would I buy another car and I got a car that's not, you know what I mean? I'm just like, and all it was one. I'm just like, nah, I just want to have a 2-door, just a cool, pre-approved, almost got it. I mean, I went to the dealership and they was like, it's going to be this price. I said, well, I got to be out the door at this price. And it was a big difference. I'm talking about $4,000 difference from where they wanted me to be and where I said I was going to be. They called me back 2 days later and was like, hey, if you come up today, we'll do it. I'm like, really? What? So something came in my head, was like, you know what? This ain't no sign from God. No, it's not. It's not. This is nothing but
I need some money immediately.
Desperation. Hey, we can make this happen if you want to come do it. But I'm just like, why would I want to add that to my thing? And then I almost did it. Then I called insurance and they was like, it's going to be this amount. I'm like, nah, you can cancel that out. I made a good one. No. I made a good decision and just said, you know what? No, y'all can keep that. But let's look at one more before we go, because I'm going to do a part 2 to this.
The more I do real estate transactions, the more I realize that the system is so rigged against minority homeowner. And if you ever are in the position to pay cash for a house, that's your best option. That's your best way to compete if you have cash. Now, how likely are you to have cash for a brand new house? Or maybe not brand new, a house that's in a neighborhood that you desire, is safe, you don't have to worry about things happening in your neighborhood. I'm just saying that it's so rigged because the median price to get in the neighborhood, $300,000 to $400,000.
And that's just crazy. $300,000 to $400,000. People think that's just light, man. But when we moved here, we just 22, 23-year-old people out here hustling, chasing our dreams, coming here, got student loan debt, got to hustle, got to have a car in Atlanta. You know what I mean? We got our vices. We got this. We not thinking, we got a baby now. It's like, man, it's just crazy to think that this is what people actually go through.
Listen, man, I make over 30 an hour. I got a damn good paying job. Listen, if a nigga was to tell me at 18 years old, if a nigga said, yo, Diz, at the age of 36, you're going to be making over $30 an hour and you're going to be struggling, I would have laughed in his fucking face, man. For real. I would have laughed in his face. You couldn't have told me that at 18 years old. I would have thought that I'd be living like a king. I don't live outside my means. When I say I'm struggling, that's just to pay bills and to buy food. Inflation, the economy, everything is fucked up. There's no middle class anymore. We're literally the working poor. You have the working poor, and then you have the filthy, rotten fucking rich. Like, something needs to change. Something needs to give. We can't fucking live like this.
You want to know who struggles the worst? Don't worry, I'm going to tell you anyway. It's the lower middle class. The ones with working parents with 2, 3, 4 kids that go out every day and work 50 to 60 hours a week. The ones that are right above the threshold to qualify for any SNAP or any type of other assistance. Yeah, those are the ones struggling the worst. Those are the ones that go to work every day wondering if they're going to be able to put food on the table or have enough money for their mortgage, or wondering if today is the day the light company is going to disconnect the lights. Those are the families struggling the worst. The ones that are trying to decide, do I pay the lights or put food on the table? Do I put food on the table or do I pay the mortgage? Do I put food on the table or do I pay the car payment? Do I put food on the table or do I pay the insurance? They're also the ones that never cry or ask for help.
And now I'm starting to think maybe we need to be like that more. Maybe we need to start bucking more and be like, you know what? We need help. That's why When they was talking about SNAP, it was so easy for everybody else to be like, man, we ain't never got help. We out here working, doing all this. Why ain't you doing this? You know what I mean? But then again, when you go to these places and you deal with bad customer service, bad attitudes, people that's incompetent.
You are a rude, terrible person.
That's why they need help, because they can't survive out here. You don't want to deal with them. If you going to order a burger, they still messing it up. I said no pickles. You know what I mean? Like cussing them out. Like, damn. Like, what is wrong with you? That's why they need to be Section 8, getting SNAP, and out the way, because you'd be like, I can't deal with these people every day. Imagine if you was dealing with all the kids that couldn't read out loud and all that. Like, that's the, you know what I mean? The lazy ones. Gym class come up, they failed PE because they ain't want to change, they ain't want to run, they was lazy then, they lazy now. That's them guys. You feel me? But yeah, man, that's just what it is, man. But we in here already close to 30 minutes. So what I'm gonna do is do a part 2 on this. But please let me know, am I tripping or are we struggling? Hit me in the comments. You two think y'all gonna like this video, maybe even this video, this one or this one right here. But what I need y'all to do is definitely like, definitely subscribe. I appreciate y'all being here with me, and I'll see y'all next time.